welcome to another week. I want to pay attention to community and want to take y'all on an adventure on how I'm building a community for myself, building new connections, and just being very open to all different types of new aligned energy for me. The next couple days, I already am putting myself out of my comfort zone and just putting myself out there a little bit more. It's gonna be fun, and I'm trying to really put more value into the connections I am forming and just allow myself to be more vulnerable, even though, because something my therapist said was, even throughout everything I've been through, I've still allowed space to be vulnerable to new experiences. Like, she gave an example of coming to Toronto and just exploring what my relationship with Cushy could be, how, why we came into each other's lives and all those things. And then just that when I opened myself up to crocheting and just legend and just the people who come into the space too, really standing in that. And for the past couple weeks being at crochet, I feel like now I've made myself comfy in that space. It honestly took about a month for me to actually feel comfy around it, because it was at new locations, and even though the teacher was always the same, and honestly the vibe would be the same too, there was just a level within me that I knew he was a good person, but I think with everything that I've been through, I'm so hesitant to open up. But I'm really glad that I never actually put a wall up in my life before, where I never let anyone in. I just know it takes more time, but that's a good place for me, because I used to be this person that I still go by this model too, but I go about it a little bit differently. I used to say to myself, trust everyone and see what happens. But back then I used to overshare, and I used to trauma dump with that whenever I would do that, just because I wanted to, such a weird Scorpio thing, but I wanted to also see their reaction to the stuff I've been through. Whenever I share things with people, I wanted to see their reaction, because in their reaction is how I knew how I wanted to navigate that relationship. Very crazy, but that's something I've always done. But now it's not like that, because I don't want to just openly give everyone a chance. It's more okay, let's just see, and that part is I like that for me. Oh, the oversharing thing before, I used to tell some crazy shit about my life to strangers, and those relationships never came out of anything, and then I'd be like, should I have said that? Too late now. But I'm so excited, and really I'm so happy to be in this space where I'm allowing this again, because I know that when I was homeless and just seeing how everything was going down with past connections, and just seeing what happened, and just finding that strength on my own, I was like, no, I know who's good for me now. I know what I require in my life, and I also accept everyone that I meet. If I meet someone who's not aligned with me, I won't meet them with malice. I won't meet them with judgment. It's just, I know I won't cater to this relationship long. I just meant to meet you that day. I meant to meet you for this season, but I know that I won't harbor into something more if I don't feel like it would be. And that trust in myself of who I want in my bubble is, I'm really proud. I'm so proud. So this is gonna be really fun to see me build a community of my souls. I had a really great time with her. We both got there at 2. We left at 5:30, and we talked the whole time. It was so nice, and it just felt very heartwarming, because we resonated with what we were saying to each other a lot. Even though I've noticed within myself that everything I say is solely a projection of what I'm literally viewing it, and even though I was consciously aware that we were doing that with each other, it still was making sense for the both of us. And I was like, okay, I think this could be really good for us to have a connection. And then just as I was coming home, I was like, you know what? I'm even thinking in the case of like if this doesn't turn into anything, today was still just a good day, and that was good. And having that kind of knowingness of detachment from this is very nice and different for me, because I would just potentially start to hang out with someone and then feel like anyone I hang out with, I always try to envision a future with them, if there's something long-term within our connection or not, and then I would just start to invest type of thing, because I want to be consciously aware of the connections I'm investing in. So like for this, I like was seeing, I was like, this could be a really good friendship, but I don't want to romanticize it anymore, and I just want to be like, you know what, it does, but it's okay if it doesn't. And yes, very, very peaceful. I really wanted to share that. I wrote it in my journal and everything too, but I really enjoyed today. Now I'm eating mama noodles. I'm starving. I would have eaten there to have a snack, but I was like, no, I really prefer a meal. Also, I do want to say I'm grateful that she encouraged me in a nice way to consider taking transit more, because I've been just trying to tell myself that taking Ubers all the time is fine, like I'm gonna have the money for it, blah blah blah, but like even if I have the money for it, why not do it? Because I have time, like, you know, I can make time for the transit to at least go there. I was negotiating in my head, I was like, you know what, I'm at least gonna transit there and then potentially Uber back, because it'll be dark and I'd rather not learn, you know, I would rather just get home right away. But I would love to explore how to get there. So because the next 2 days I was planning to Uber there and back to places, and I was like, you know, that kind of sounds a little like excessive, so I'm gonna learn how to transit there. But then as I was Ubering back home just now, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna see how long it takes to walk to each place. And like the walk, it takes 2 hours to walk to where I'm walking to tomorrow. So I might do that. I might transit or walk. I'm gonna see how I feel. I told myself that. I was like, you know what? I'm done making like finalizing talks in my head where I'm just like, nope, this is what I'm doing way before it even happens. Like I just want to see how I feel instead and just give myself options. About to do my stretching and my meditative state, and I was saying out loud just now, I am going to have a good day. Everything is going to go in my favor. I got my eyebrow lady some things for Christmas, since she's spending 8 hours on my eyebrows for free. Like what? So I got her this little cute thing here, some chocolate, and then that's a hair clip, and then lottery ticket. I would have kept this clip here for myself because it's so pretty, honestly. I think it's Sailor Moon themed, but my hair's not thick enough yet, and honestly her hair is gorgeous, so I'm gonna give it to her. This is my brow lady. Go to her. This menu is everything. I love all the names. But if they refuse, and then they would settle. Oh my gosh, that looks bomb. But that looks bomb.
You never want to blend on top of it, right? You're just gonna go literally beside it and just drag it until you.
That therapy session was everything. It's always nice to feel like I'm unblocking something, and it's literally the second session I've had with her. And it's just like poof, poof. It's so nice to have that confirmation of knowing or hearing something that you're meant to at the time you need to. Like something I've been working on is accountability, in terms of like just being so true and authentic that it hurts. You're just so raw. and I felt kind of stuck because I would know what my triggers were. And something I used to do was when I got triggered, I would try to just gaslight myself. Like, I would try to smoke it away. I would try to just distract myself, whatever. Then I learned how to change that from knowing what my triggers are and processing it, analyzing it. And then the next step was trying to, like, I just felt stuck after that. Like, I didn't know if there was something to do after that, but I felt stuck when I thought about those things. And then something she helped me with just now was saying, like, when this happens to me, I feel. And you can use that with anything. And we use, like, examples that I was having a blockage with and other things that she was using, like a positive reformation with it. And an example she was just like, okay, your turn. So my example to make myself feel good was when I heard I'm a fast learner, it made me feel really good at what I do. So when I say it like that, you don't know who I heard it from, but you know that I heard it and that I processed it, and that's how I reacted to it and responded to it. And then that gives you an open to say how you're feeling about something in regards to what I said, or just in general, by you also saying, when this happens, you feel. And I was like, man, I feel like I can navigate the conversations I want much better because now I know how to say it. So that was nice. But something that didn't keep me crying or anything. What kept me crying was, first of all, it was just so nice to hear her say that it just feels very embedded within me right now, how much I appreciate community and how much I'm building a community, and like the way I present it in what I'm doing and how I say things. So she's like, you always have like an awareness of it. So it was nice to hear that confirmation. But what I started crying about was, we finished off by me saying like how long I used to say that I didn't love myself, because we were saying I mentioned the relationships I attract and stuff, and how I want to take accountability that I allow those relationships in my life. And I chose to stay through like the hard times because I needed to learn the lesson on how to walk away from it and what doesn't serve me. And she's like, when did you learn like something like that? And I was like, probably after the year that I noticed I was saying how much I hated myself, and then I met someone who also hated themselves. And yeah, and then she's like, how long were you saying that? And I was like, honestly, for a very long time. And then that was the end of the call though, so she was trying to end it short. So we said something really nice to finish it off, so it didn't just leave like that. But it got me thinking. I was like, when did I start saying that? When did I start saying I didn't love myself? And I started crying for a long time because I just figured it out. But it was when I lost my virginity, honestly. That's when it started. And that was when I was 14. Because I know the guilt I felt after doing it for doing it for so many reasons. Like, I just carried that really hard with me when it happened, and I didn't really talk to anybody about it. Like what actually I was going through when that happened, because I really played it off like it wasn't a big deal and stuff like that. But just knowing what my motives were, knowing what happened and all that, I was like, oh, I carried that really harshly on myself. And then from then I was like, I don't love myself. And during my like younger years, I projected that really harshly and differently, just trying to fit in wherever I could, whatever. But then in high school, I took it more within myself, where I was just like, man, I don't love myself, but I don't know what's happening. So it was like trying to figure myself out. But now, through everything, I'm so glad that I'm like, oh fuck, full circle, and now I love myself. Now I know how to, and I feel good about it. So today's session was amazing, very unblocking, very grateful for it.
She wished me a happy holidays. She doesn't want me to spend it alone, but I told her I'm redefining what this holiday means for me, and she's like, okay. But I could hear it, like, her be like, hugging. I hug her back.
Just like, you know, a tourist attraction, like near the pond and everything. Okay, so it was nice to get a break from home too. Like, I don't want that to be like.
Yeah. So that's where I met her. So she brought him home. Nice.
I'm so proud of myself for what I did this week, specifically on the intention of planting seeds, making connections, just putting myself out there, keeping my heart open, and just using my discernment too to see who is fitting for my life currently. And it's just really nice to be aware of what I was doing and like aware of how I am presenting myself in connections and just how I want to be more involved in the community. And even though like these experiences may not have felt like all those big times that I have experienced before in my life where I met people new and things like that, I think feeling detached from the excitement of starting new relationships is kind of nice in a way where I won't be overwhelmed with how it proceeds. I'm glad because even if things don't particularly pan out with specific friendships or specific things that I'm doing towards my creativity or my career, like I know I'm gonna just keep on keeping, be more willing to still like explore all these other things, because if something doesn't work out, another thing will. And I know that through just remaining open. I feel like no matter what, even if they don't stay long, they are attracted to me right now and what I'm giving out. So that kind of feels like a confirmation on my growth and confirmation on just like what it is that I'm aligning right now, how I'm presenting. I feel like I'm just repeating the same thing at this point. Thank you for watching this video though, for making it through another one. Oh, I want to share a quick story about yesterday's Uber driver. When I finished with crocheting, took an Uber home and the license plate was 144 and I was his third passenger. I was his third passenger. I like to ask all these numerology stuff because synchronicity for me, but he was very talkative, and sometimes when Uber drivers are too talkative and I don't want to, it's really uncomfy, but if I feel the vibe, I'll go with it. And I got to share some of my story with him and everything like that, and he was like, how can I help? What am I doing? What is it? And so I texted him my PayPal and my YouTube. I was just like, you know, if it's still not even anything like monetary, like I would love any kind of support, and if it's just watching or subscribing, like, so I'm saying this openly because I noticed that I don't really say, oh, subscribe to me, follow, or like I love to see comments because I want to engage for sure. Like I love to respond to things when it comes to my content. I'm really thankful for compliments, but I just don't really know what to respond with those. There's only so many thank yous before I'm like, but I'm really grateful for them. It's just I want to be engaging in like what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? But if you would also like to help in any which way, monetary or not, or monetary, because that's what I'm talking about, I have my link tree. I'm gonna link it down below. You can explore all the little things that I have attached to it and stuff. And if you want to continue supporting me, I have many different sites. If not, thank you for just giving me your time during this space. So I wish you well. I feel like my next video is going to be about how I'm navigating the holidays because it's a harder time for me, but we'll see how it flows. But I really think that might be it. Have a good week.